Pisces, and welcome to your October general reading. I'm still shuffling cards here, Pisces, for you. I'm going to double up a couple of meanings. You've got quite an interesting month here. The outcome's a Judgment card, which is rebirth. I think some Pisces have gone through some loss, so I'm going to pull you another couple of cards, because you enter October. I'll show you these when I'm shuffling, with the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Swords. So the Eight of Cups represents walking away from something, okay? It's a spirit. He's dressed in purple and gold, so it's a card of spirituality, which means there's a bigger search going on here, Pisces. You want something more. You want the Ten of Cups, and interestingly enough, you've got the Ten of Cups, which is your overall supportive energy. Something's pushing you towards going after happiness, going after that sense of emotional fulfillment. But some of you might still be a bit torn between the past and the future. As you can see, he's looking back at some of the Two of the Swords he's left behind. So you're not quite walking through that gateway yet to a new beginning. This is quite often called the Thief card, and really the thief is your thinking. So you might have knotted yourself up in too much thinking energy and not enough action here. Does that make sense at all? So I'm just pulling another card for your inner life. Now that is really interesting, okay? So it's a sense of leaving something behind, Pisces. You want this Ten of Cups, which you've got, or you're moving towards it, but you're still a bit looking to the past. And I think some Pisces have got themselves caught up in a bit of analysis paralysis, trying to work out too much with their thinking processes, which never works, because the only thing that moves the universe, there's action we can take, but everything ultimately is about grace here. So sometimes we can look behind us to look at what we're leaving behind, but we have to put a stopwatch on it and not build a house there, Pisces, okay? Because what you most want is a Knight of Swords. I'm getting quite forward motion here. I think some of you might be waiting on news, because the Knights can deliver messages, and the Swords are about communication. So you might be waiting on communication, but I think it's coming, because your energy that's supporting you the whole month is a Ten of Cups, the Happy Ever After card. Some Pisces could be waiting on some air sign, male or female, to get in contact, or it could be anything, but you're waiting for information. You're waiting to hear something, and this something is about pushing your life forward, making you feel more emotionally content, and hopefully moving forward, okay? Now what is going against you is the Emperor, which means the Emperor would be that father of the deck, okay? So what's going against you is that sense of I will, and I will do this, I'll make this happen. So there might be a sense of balance needing here, that you're pushing too hard rather than allowing things to happen in their own timing. Because to me, the Emperor is, that part of ourselves that we all have, that ego part that wants to go out and get things done, okay? But that's going against you. So maybe what's asked from you, Pisces, is a much more gentler approach to things, a much more allowing the process to happen around you. Still take action, but the Emperor as a challenge is quite a cut-off energy. It's almost pushing too hard, and I don't really like that as a challenge card, because it sort of means there's going to be a bit of a tension for you. So try and work with that Emperor card. Keep handing things over. It all happens in divine timing, not in the ego's timing. No matter what we're told at school, we can do loads of actions, but it all happens through divine timing, basically. End of. In your relationship house, you've got the King of Swords. So this again could be an air sign, male or female. It could be there's some conversations that need to be had. The King of Swords would represent the need to have a serious conversation about the way forward, regarding your love life. I'm not sure what he represents for you, Pisces. Only you know. I do my love reading separately. It'll be out in a few days. But there's quite a serious energy towards this King of Swords. He definitely represents communication, a bit like that knight. And because he's a king, he's quite serious, he's got a lot of authority. And sometimes when he shows in a relationship spread to me, he represents some serious conversations that need to have. Some Pisces might be discussing the way forward with someone. Or it could just be there's an air sign that's going to be an important part of your month. Now around work, you've got the Five of Wands. I find the Five of Wands very much like the Emperor card. It's quite a tense card. So there's quite a lot of stress at work. You might not be doing a job that you love, okay? And that's why the Emperor is going as your challenge card. You seem to have two processes happening here. As a part of you waiting for this information, trying maybe to put out CVs would be this King of Swords, okay? You know, doing job applications. You're being guided towards this Ten of Cups, and the tension is the Five of Wands and the Emperor. And I think it's to do with work situations or money situations. You might be in a job you don't want to be in. You could be pushed and pulled in different directions. Now the key to both these cards, which no one ever wants to know, is to let go. Move into the Hanged Man. Move into that surrender energy, that you can only do your best on a daily basis. But on your inner level, you've got two cards, the Four of Wands and the Three of Swords. So I think there's been some past heartache, and for some reason I'm getting the past, but for some Pisces you might be going through it at the moment. This can represent a three-way situation, or there's been heartache in the past and it's still playing out in your mind. This is maybe what the Seven of Swords represents. There's a part of you still looking behind rather than moving forward. Because after the Three of Swords comes the Four of Wands, which is the new beginning, the new chapter. It represents celebration, crossing a threshold, happiness. But some of you might have been caught in a relationship dynamic that's broke your heart a little bit. Some of you might have gone through a divorce recently, and that's what these cards are saying. Now your outcome is the beautiful Judgment card, which is my favourite major arcana. It's rising from the dead. It's about second chances. It's about new beginnings. Okay? So you've gone through, you've been, that sense of being a bit buried alive. And I think for some Pisces, it's probably to do with work. And I don't know. I've got some Pisces in a situation you don't want to be in, basically. But this is about new beginnings, new chances, wiping the slate clean, a bit like the Fool, okay? But it's about giving gratitude because a new beginning has come your way. And you're just going to laugh at this. I asked how to deal with the Emperor and the Five of Wands, and I said the key is to surrender, and you just got the Hanged Man. Pisces card, Crown Chakra. It's about letting go of control. Because both these cards are definitely cards about control. And your protective card is a Ten of Cups, which is happiness, which is emotional happiness. It's about love. It's definitely not about these cards. That's what you're having to fight with. And the solution is the Hanged Man. That's the feeling of the card that I thought you were going to get. But the outcome is potentially a new beginning, a new chance. It's about saying thank you. When I get the Judgment card showing up, I always just say thank you, because it's the potential for a new start here. My advice, stop pushing too hard, because that's what's going to create even more and more tension within you. If you're still looking behind at some heartache, we have to feel things to heal things. There's no way around it. But what I say to people is learn to manage it. So don't spend your whole time there. But when the feeling is strong, Pisces, you're going to have to go into what hurt, and you're going to have to pull those swords out. Because our swords are our thinking processes. And I've got a feeling some Pisces are reliving something to do with the past. The answer is to let go of control and allow the universe to take over, because the potential's there that it will do that if you can just surrender the control of the Emperor and that Five of Wands. Okay, Pisces, so I'll do your love readings. Will be out in a few days, and you can contact me directly. My email's in the About section. Okay, loads of love. Bye.